Piece and 1 point apiece at Anfield between Liverpool and Chelsea. Both of those goals came in the first 45 minutes. No way for either to win it in the second 45. Overall, what did you make of the way that the game flowed?
Well, I think you've got to say it's a fair result because I think Chelsea were the better team, had more opportunities. Second half, Liverpool had one or two. Szoboszlai hit the post, but I don't think they created enough. I think both teams would have performed better in the second half. Liverpool limited Chelsea's chances, whereas the first half, particularly in between the right back and Konate, they had a few opportunities down there. So, but they were toothless. You know, as I said, without Isak's not fit, without Ekitike, without Salah, you know, so they're nice and neat. You know, Curtis Jones, they're neat in midfield, but we didn't create enough to have won the game.
Yeah, 8 shots is the fewest at home for Liverpool in nearly 5 years. Chelsea only had 1 attempt in the second 45. The way in which they came back into the game at the end of the first half, did you expect them to kind of carry that into the second?
I think that was a positive thing in terms of the first half. Going a goal down so early on, it could have been that kind of feeling of, oh no, here we go again. So it was nice to see a reaction. Like I said, on the balance of the game, I thought it was pretty even. Both teams huffed and puffed a little bit without creating too much. We had Enzo's opportunity, which we showed at half-time, which pulled off a good save, but in terms of clear-cut chances, not too many.
Why don't we recap the goals? Because one of them came just in the opening 6 minutes of the game. It came for Liverpool. Rio Ngamoa creating here. Ryan Gravenberch finishing.
Well, once again, he had a free kick and Szoboszlai hits a great free kick normally, but of course Chelsea pushed forward. I said take it again. They pushed in. Fortunately, they didn't. Chelsea are in a good defensive position, but he just takes too long to come out. Andre Santos takes too long because you can see here they've got lots of men behind the ball. They're holding a good line. And as Gary's favourite word, scanning, you can see that he's scanning a lot. But from that position, Andre Santos has to come 5 yards further forward. Then he could have got closer to the shot. Because as you can see, he's seen 4 or 5 times. He's seen the space. When it gets to him, he's just a bit slow coming out. And it's a great strike, but I think the keeper will be disappointed because it wasn't right in the top corner.
Yeah, I think so. We spoke about him scanning and obviously having, you say to young players, have a picture in your head. He certainly had that. And his first touch set him up perfectly to have the shot, which, like we said, I feel like he was visualising that moment. But from a defensive point of view, of course, as soon as that touch comes out of his feet, the next thought in his mind is to shoot. You've got to try and close that gap as quickly as possible. And yeah, the keeper will be slightly disappointed, I think, with that. But take nothing away from the finish. I thought it was a superb finish.
Another early goal conceded by Chelsea. That's 9 in the opening 10 minutes. The top in their Premier League history, an unwanted record. We spoke plenty in the build-up, Gary, about this Chelsea defence, and they found themselves 1 goal down already before the game really even gets going.
Yeah, and that's been the case, hasn't it? We spoke about kind of how easy they are to play against and to conceding goals has been an issue for them of late. But you look at that stat and it makes me think, just, you know, be switched on in the start of the game. I always used to say about myself when I played, make the first pass, be in the right position, play your way into the game. It's almost like stay in the game. With the first 5 minutes to concede, it's an uphill task from then on. So it's a disappointing start, and it's something that Chelsea really needs to work on now. Be harder, be more resilient to play against and not concede sloppy goals.
Well, let's look at the goal and stay with you, Gary, because they did find, you know, their way back into the game. They kind of clawed their way back, and then this finish from Enzo Fernandez is quite superb from the free kick.
It was superb, and Fofana plays his part massively because, like I said, I think if he comes across there, he's out of the eye line. Gravenberch doesn't see him coming, and the little nudge there creates that little bit of space. So Fofana's impact in the goal was huge. The delivery is a nice delivery. Of course, he's trying to put it in that danger zone. The goalkeeper can't react until now, which is too late.
Okay, somebody gets it.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
But the interesting thing about that, he says it's a good delivery. If Fofana doesn't come and ease Gravenberch out of the way, Gravenberch just clears that, and then you can say it's a terrible free kick, or you got to clear the first man. So as much as, yes, it's gone in, for me, that is not a good free kick, because if Gravenberch is alive, that doesn't even go past him, and then you're going to go, everyone will say you got to get it over the first man. So yes, it worked out for them. And once again, Fofana's come and he just pushed him out of the way. I mean, no one's looking for a free kick, but Fofana has just eased him out of the way for that to happen. But this is what people do in set pieces these days. We see Arsenal do it a lot.
You talked a lot about set pieces and their prominence. Liverpool, unfortunately, conceding set piece goals at an alarming rate, 18. Only Bournemouth have conceded more in the Premier League so far this season. I know you're saying it wasn't really a good free kick, but he's going to say he meant that all the way.
Well, interestingly, normally it's the in-swinger that if no one touches it goes in, that's an out-swinger.
Yeah.
And he never meant that. That's a cross coming in, and of course he's tried to swing at it. Other people should get at the end of it, so I'm not having it if he says he meant that.
When you look at it, concerns about Liverpool's defending at set pieces, obviously, and yet again found out here. John?
Yes, but I think that generally speaking, set pieces, a lot of clubs are now concentrating on set pieces. Liverpool are a big side, you know, they've got Van Dijk, Kanate, but it's just, listen, when he lucks out, and that was a fortunate one. But you can't say Chelsea didn't deserve it because they were the better team in the first half. They had clearer opportunities than that to have scored, which obviously they didn't. So, yeah, I suppose it evens itself out.
Very honest from Fofana there. Would you have tried to claim it?
Yeah. No, he said, I think his first worry is probably that he was offside, maybe. He wasn't. But clearly you see on this image, I think, here we go now, it's clear he doesn't.
Put it this way, if you were a striker, you'd claim that. But defenders are more honest.
I feel like Gary would have tried because he didn't score too many goals. He said yes, he would have tried to claim it.
Yeah, but they haven't got that way about them. Strikers can lie very easily, but he would be very guilty in trying to claim it. We'll see through him.
It's hard to prove when you see it like that, though, so he's got no leg to stand on there. But like I said, he's played a huge part in it.
You're not lying right now, are you?
About?
You just said, you know.
Well, you can never tell with the strikers, can you?
Let's look.